Oh, no.
We gon' try and stay on. Communication and
Hey, your mom, stop giving a shit.
Station as a human, yet he's listening to my song. Hype joint. This that no nigga with the bass and the bang. Make it yo. Hit you with the 5 elements like 5 elephants. Let him know I'm relevant. I'm Alex telling him we're from a whole nother galaxy. I'm actually born from the static sea. Ass to be crazy. I'm trying to be amazing. Next big thing kinda has a nice ring.
All right, and we are live here on the Roundtable on HamiltonRadio.net, channel HR2. I am your host, John Brecka. We're doing this at a different time than usual because that's when these fuckers could make it.
Hello.
Hi.
We're fuckers.
We got Nessa Hunt and Alex Staglino over here, who looks like she's about to go have a pillow fight and farm at the same time.
Or
with the
leave
fucking
my
overalls.
comedy career to be a mime.
Yeah, probably.
I respect your decision to pursue miming.
Just so you know, she is going to be seen at Times Square just boxing random people out.
Do you have to stay within the lines?
That's
Technically,
something I'm still learning this early on in the craft. But
Mime school.
yeah,
She just started. You can't rush this.
Can't rush genius.
She's trying to hunt. She's trying to hunt greatness, like it says on your dad's shirt.
Yes, my family all has shirts that says "Hunt Greatness."
Oh, that's everybody?
Yeah, I mean, you see a shirt that says that, you buy 5 and you give it to all your children.
Oh, okay. You see, I just thought that was like a just him thing. He was like, "Oh shit, I gotta buy this."
No, well, now I have 3 because my sisters just like leave stuff in my room. So I'm like, I guess I have 3 of these shirts now.
If you guys aren't gonna wear it, I might as well take advantage of it.
it's okay. I've gained 3 new hoodies.
Yeah.
All of them are mine.
That's honestly
not
the only,
anymore.
That's the only
were.
reason for me to become heterosexual.
Just to take hoodies.
As a lesbian, I love hoodies, and I am sad that I don't get more of them. And because girlfriends are a lot more protective of their shit, they're like, absolutely
okay.
not. I'm a woman. I know how to defend my stuff from other women. Usually.
Hold on, I have a question. Have you ever like been on the side where you've gotten like your hoodies like taken away because like somebody's wearing them?
I would say no. I think I usually date girls who are like a bit bigger than me. So
Okay.
I'm usually the tiny one, so I get to be like, ah, yes, mine.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So you still get to like take the hoodies, so it's fine. It
Yeah.
worked out.
Yeah, well, most of the time they didn't have. They mostly just had stuff I didn't want. So like, I gotta date a girl who is bigger and has better fashion sense. So that way I can be like, yes, another closet.
She's strategic.
The thing is, you can like swim in their hoodies too.
Yeah, that's also they haven't been that much bigger than me too. Where I'm just been like, oh, it's like a hoodie, but like the sleeves go like this, like 1 inch more. Where I want one where I can go like flap.
Do you like swim in mine or no? Because I know some of them are a little big.
Yeah, like your Eagles one, I swim in a lot.
Okay. I know
some of them are, some of them I don't. Depends on the make.
I know some of them have to be huge. You good?
Sorry.
She had to go for her mic readjustment.
All right, we were talking about how these headphones look like gun range headphones, right? Yeah. And she was the one over here. You guys are so weird. I actually did radio in college. And then she's the one who can't hear herself out of her own fucking mic. See what you did?
Well, it's mostly just because I smacked it so hard when I was doing it.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You still fucked it up.
Yeah, that is true.
You know what you did. But
Thank you.
this one actually wanted to tell you guys a story because we just moved in together. And I
can't
want
wait.
you to keep in mind, for the whole thing, I was sleeping because I know she's not going to add that detail. Take it away.
Hi, Ruben.
You're fucking the story up, Ruben.
Thank you, Ruben.
Or is it adding suspense?
This
Ruben
is not
just
adding
I don't-
suspense.
I don't
This is
know.
adding...
Ruben needed to show the
You-
world his cute tushy. That's
You
what
did radio. This is adding dead air.
Yes.
I don't think his tushy popped in there like once.
It did. I checked on the camera.
I think
It's a prime
I'm
twerking
pretty sure he did like
opportunity.
this behind the camera.
All right, fine.
Like he went behind the camera, did like this. and
Just
then went back the other
remember.
way.
All right.
Just
fine.
remember, the folks at home want to see the face cheeks, not the ass cheeks.
I don't want to
Or
see
do
your ass
they?
cheeks.
Or do they?
This is gonna, I need to leave quickly to change my wardrobe. I did not realize this was a no ass cheek studio.
I don't have much of an ass to begin with, so this isn't really a worry of mine.
Yeah. All right, tell
Anyway,
us this story.
So it's our first night together.
Real quick, you do like my butt in these pants, though, which I'm proud of. So, all right, go ahead.
It's our first night together in the new house. He goes to the bathroom, does whatever men do in the bathroom.
Take a shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crimes.
Yeah, pretty much. And then he
that is
goes
a crime.
to bed. He just goes straight to bed. So I'm still like unpacking and whatnot, and then I have to go to the bathroom. I look in the bathroom, the sink is clogged.
Ugh.
I'm like,
I was
what?
sleeping. Remember.
I'm
Were
like,
you?
it's our first night. We've already broken the fucking sink.
Oh my gosh.
So there's no stopper
Yeah.
in it. So I just put my hand down there to see if I could like get anything.
First mistake.
Yeah. Well, like, I just wanted to unclog the sink. I didn't want to break it.
It sounds like the beginning of like a Goosebumps.
Well, here's the thing. I pulled out toilet paper,
It's
but
a
it
much
was toilet
shittier
paper.
story than that.
Yeah, I pulled out toilet paper, wet, like soaking wet toilet paper. But the best part was that it was toilet paper that he rubbed his ass with.
Oh.
He wiped his ass with toilet paper.
Are you sure you guys it didn't come like pre-clogged?
I remember none of this.
I am very much positive because
No.
he was in the bathroom last.
All right.
And before that, I had put soap in the bathroom. Then I was like washing my hands, making sure it was all good.
I find out
he did that.
I find out the next day after she calls me after I get out of work. She's fucking screaming at me, and I'm sitting here like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Oh my god.
He was
And then,
awake.
and then I'm sitting here like thinking in my head like, "Why would you do something like
This
that?"
is
Not
like-
realizing I did it still.
This is like, people who claim that they're innocent from murder because they were sleeping when they did the murder, but only like you're a poop bandit.
I did not have shitty relations with that toilet.
John Brekowitz, poop bandit.
Brekowitz.
That actually sounds pretty clever.
I'm sorry, I was thinking of
Berkowitz.
You
Look,
see,
I get depressed at work, and the only way to cure that is by making myself anxious with true crime.
Okay.
just watch First 48. It makes you feel better at work.
It does.
Until every noise that you hear in your sleep is a murderer trying to get you.
That is true. Alex, do you have any? Because I don't live with anyone. Because I'm one, lonely, and two, I have the best life also. So I don't have any roommate
Sometimes a
stories.
lonely life is the best life.
To be fair, I don't have any roommate situations so far. But Alex, you live with people in New York City.
I do.
Do you have any fun sink clog stories that you want to tell
Well,
on
I have
internet?
I do have a horrifying poop story.
Ooh.
All right.
I wanna hear
see
this.
this. I'll see.
Do you have a poop story? Why did I feel
What
like
do you
you did?
mean? Like,
I'm asking.
She's already
It goes
told the poop
everywhere?
story,
Like,
so
no.
you need a poop story.
I feel like everyone has
Or
a
still your
horrifying
poop
poop story.
but-
Everyone has
Some more than
one.
others.
If it's repressed or not is a different story. When I first moved to New York, so like I didn't know either of my roommates, right? And you have to make a good impression. That's key.
Yeah,
'Cause,
okay.
Yeah, it is. It's key. I'm
Okay.
telling you right here. This is being recorded.
Okay.
Um,
I'm aware it's being recorded.
So I loved the city when I first moved here. I think it was before I saw homeless men masturbating on the subway.
That's like a free show every time you go on the subway.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Awful.
So there was one day, like I went to get dinner with friends, and all of a sudden, like I was on the train back home, and I knew I had to shit, like so bad. It's just that feeling in your
Yeah.
gut where you're like, uh-oh.
Where you just like feel the rumble like go down.
Exactly.
yeah,
Again,
he'll like stand up and look around first to make sure like nobody's watching, even though I'm always watching.
No,
and then he'll like just bolt to the bathroom.
'Cause I-
I'm like, I saw that.
Because like I can't tell if it's like happening like right now sometimes when I stand up. So sometimes I'll stand up and be like, wait. Just like clenching the butt cheeks and everything.
So we're just learning that everyone has IBS who is in this room.
Yeah, right.
Probably.
To be fair, mine is not so much IBS as I refuse to stop drinking milk.
That's valid.
Severely lactose intolerant.
Oh god.
God cannot stop me. All right. So you're on the subway and you have to shit
Yeah.
so bad.
And I gave myself like one of those like sports movie pep talks. I was like, you just got to make it to your own toilet, Alex, and you will save face. Granted, there are probably worse things that have happened on the subway, but
It's
You know
your,
what
it's
you
your
need to
first
do?
week in New York.
You know what you need to do? If you ever see like a homeless guy masturbating and you really need to shit, just shit right next to him. I just feel like this should happen.
or that could turn to a really horrifying porno that no one needed to see.
Knock
I
on
wasn't
wood.
even trying to go there, but
Just
I was literally just trying to just leave it as you take it as shit next to the homeless guy.
It's Alex's first week in New York City. She doesn't know which subways have the bathrooms that you can use without buying anything yet, which
I
is
don't even
none of
know
them.
that.
But which subways even have bathrooms? So what do you do when you get back to your apartment?
Well, aside from the fact that not learning that the city itself is a toilet, so I made it back, right? And I was like, finally, like I'm going to have my moment. And my roommate who I just met was in the shower. And I was like, I have two options here, right? I burst in like to the stranger that I just met and like have violent diarrhea in front of them, or I have to find like a vessel of some kind.
At that point, I would just be honest.
Well, that's not.
You and Alex are different people.
We are different people. That's not the choice that I made in this scenario. I found a vessel. And let's just say what happened next remains between me, a plastic bag, and the incinerator in my building, and public radio now. So that's great.
Guys, Alex shit in a bag and put it in a radiator.
Yeah, that's when you know you're fucking desperate.
Hold on, did your roommates ever find out about this?
No, they didn't.
Thank God they don't.
Now they
They
did.
did. Now they do.
Thank God they don't come to see our stand-up.
I know. Oh my
And
god.
also that you don't tell that story regularly.
I thought your roommate came like one time.
Oh, these were different roommates
Oh, okay, never mind.
back
Yeah.
in the day.
Because I remember just like some black girl that was hanging out with you
Yes.
that I never saw again.
Other,
That's one of my roommates.
Yes,
Okay.
other Alex.
I
All
forgot.
of- all
I
of
forgot her name
All
to
of
be honest.
Alex's roommates are named Alex, except for one.
Wait, really?
She's Alexis, but for
How
the
ma- wait.
purposes of the story,
Hold on. How many roommates do you have?
2.
I told some of the other comics that you have like 6 roommates and they're all named Alex.
Nessa just
That's
one.
so much
It's
better.
Alex Army.
Yeah.
And there's so many Alexes. Like anytime Nessa and I are like at a show or a mic where there are other Alexes, she just like, when are we gonna have the fight to the death? Because there can only be one.
Yeah, I'm usually just like being like, I need to get an empty bottle and we can fight this out. Just
God.
smash.
How many Alex comics do I know? Now I'm trying to think.
No, don't do that.
At least 10.
It is a brain sex.
I can-
You will die.
I can only think of 2 that I know of like off the top of my head.
I can think of 3, but I don't want to name names.
I think I can think of you, and I can think of one dude that I've done a couple shows with in Connecticut, and that's it.
Yeah. And then there's like at least 2 other girls, and then definitely another boy at some point.
Yeah.
But are we doing vessel stories now? Can I do?
I wanna hear your
mine's,
vessel
mine's
story.
not good, but it is emotionally vulnerable, which I feel like is
Okay. All right.
Let's hear
also
it.
I can't say vulnerable. Can't say vulnerable. Can't say Massachusetts.
What?
Oh, Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
Okay. All right.
Massachusetts.
I've said it a couple times by accident, but never on purpose. My vessel story. I wish my vessel story was better because it was just like. Do you guys ever just get like so tired that you don't go to the bathroom? No.
No.
I was in a dorm, so it was another scenario. Like I had to go to a whole other floor to go to the bathroom. So like it's different when you have to go
Okay.
up a flight of stairs.
Yeah,
Alright, that's fair.
It's
I
a
was-
whole different ballgame.
I was drinking a shit ton of water at the time, and I was just like the heat was broken. It was like because global warming is fucked. The heat was
Yeah.
on because it was February, but it was also like 90 degrees outside because this is like an old timey building. So there's only 2 levels of heat. It's on or off, and like we've been calling for days, and they hadn't turned it off yet. So
Oh,
like I'm
Jesus.
just sitting with like loose ice on me, trying to like cool down, drinking a shit ton of water, and I like got up at some point. I kept getting up and being like, I have to pee, but like. To go
Is
to
it coming now?
To go to a different floor would be insane. Like, you know, you have to put on shoes and probably pants, and you
Yeah.
have to talk to your neighbors just to pee. No, that's too many steps.
Yeah.
I got to a point, honestly, because when I went back to college, I got to a point where I would honestly just go out in my boxers, like if I lived in a dorm room and had to go pee.
Yeah, I'm a lady, and I was on a multi-gender floor, so the rules were different.
I just didn't care.
Yeah, and I just reached a point where I stood up, and I was like, oh no. Even if I tried, I would not make it 100%. I gotta find something to pee in this room.
Oh my god.
This
Luckily, I can pee standing up, and I did have a water bottle right there.
Oh, that's good.
Granted, it was such an expensive water bottle, and I like fully filled it, and then I had to throw it out. I was
Yeah.
like, there's no amount of, I could clean it as much as I wanted, but I would never know. I would always know, you know.
Yeah.
I could clean it with boiling water, but I would always know that was a piss glass.
Did you like take the piss in the urinal or?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, because the only time I've ever...
I didn't put it in the sink. I'm not a monster.
No, the only time I've ever seen anyone do that was a video somebody showed me, and I think it was like a shorter lady, so her leg was like wrapped around the urinal like that.
Oh, I thought you meant with the glass of piss. No, I don't use your urinals.
Okay.
I can just pee standing up.
Oh, all right.
I learned when I was in high school and college, because I realized that when you're a lady, people don't like it when you have to stop to use the bathroom all the time.
Yeah.
It's a very bathroom heavy episode.
So what, is it just like you like carefully aim? I don't have a vagina, so.
Yeah, you just aim.
Okay. So it's kind of like a lot like that, only I can point it different ways.
Yeah.
And also, you got to be careful if you're like wearing pants.
Oh no.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Apparently they make funnels now.
It's most,
They do
most
make
of
funnels.
the reason why I started
Sounds
wearing
handy.
skirts was because I was like, oh, and also I don't have to worry about that other part.
Listen, because honestly, you're smart to wear skirts, because at the end, like, it just like sprays.
Well, actually, I switched to dresses because I was like, oh, wait a minute, you're telling me I don't have to put together an outfit if I just wear one solid piece? And everyone thinks you're putting in extra effort.
Just go to the bathroom and be like, hello, or
Yeah, exactly.
as it's like just running down,
It's why I think men should wear kilts.
so I can pee better.
Yes,
Nessa Hunt 2020.
it's
Wait.
my campaign I'm running on.
So hold on, does this mean I have to be commando?
Nah, I mean, dealer's choice, I think.
Okay, I'm fat, so I chafe. So commando would be a problem for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm-
I'm not gonna be the piss dictator.
The only reason why I'm saying that, because I want to avoid walking like I'm in March of the Penguins.
Well, I will say, as a woman with thighs,
My God.
deodorant does wonders.
That's what I keep telling him.
Thank you.
I even bought like the aluminum free deodorant,
What?
so it's
That's
got
so
like even
good.
better.
I always forget.
Yeah, to be fair, I forget too.
I remember one time I was sleeping over at my brother's house and I brought shorts, but I forgot deodorant. So I asked him if I could use his, and he goes, "Where are you putting it?" And I was like, "Oh, just between my thighs. It's fine."
Men are learning so much right now.
Yeah, right.
That's what this show is here for.
It's baby powder and deodorant. Those are your best friends.
Or if you're really fancy, the ones that's just for your
Oh,
thighs.
yeah.
The ones like sparkly and
Yeah.
shit.
Oh yeah.
I do
Granted,
have
that's not worth the money, but like also
Just put the baby oil down there. It's
treat
fine.
yourself.
baby powder in my car though. Like I have gone out for my breaks at work and just like sprinkled it there.
So do you also have the kilt ready right now?
I don't have the kilt ready right now. I mean, I probably could.
Oh, I forgot. We should talk about stand-up comedy.
If you want.
So
It's fine.
I mean, we did, and then we talked about how depressing Producers Club is.
yeah, no, we can skip over that. I don't know, John. Do you want to talk about your process or something?
Oh my god.
I mean, I just did a show. I just did a show and called it Big Dick Comedy last Thursday.
I mean, it's a good name. It sticks
Right?
in the brain.
Doesn't it? Just like sticks out, right?
It's also
Yes.
the opposite of what many comedians have.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we have been talking a lot about big dick energy, as
True.
it were.
Although I did have a legit reason for naming it what I did, and that was actually based off Big Dick Energy. I actually thought of this. Like,
I
it
thought
had
you were
meaning.
about to tell me that your name was actually Robert.
Why Robert?
What's the name that like Dick is a nickname for?
Richard.
Richard. That you were going to tell me your name was Richard and that you'd like never told anyone.
No, my name is not Richard.
John's dark secret revealed right now.
My
No, I've seen his birth certificate. It's fine.
We have confirmation.
Good job.
There
His
is-
mom like when she moved to Florida, she left like all the stuff, and she told me where it was, not him.
I would hope she would leave my birth certificate. Shit.
But
That'd
Do
be
you
a
know
problem.
do you know where it's at? Do you
It's
know
in-
where your folder is?
It's in the closet in what was my mom's room.
Okay.
and they live at.
I know it's in there.
If someone wants to go commit fraud,
You'll have to fight the mighty Thor first.
is that the
Yeah.
name of your cat?
Yeah.
that fat ass cat
Oh
that
my
broke
God.
the bed spring.
I
Oh
love
my
that
God.
cat. I haven't even seen a picture of him yet, but I love him.
She's already pulling it out. She's got you.
He would also murder me if I ever saw him in a room.
No, he
Yeah.
wouldn't.
So allergic.
Same.
Oh, well then, yeah, you're fucked. But
Oh, he looks so friendly. I love
I would
him.
say, I don't know if this is true of you, Nessa, but cats do not like me.
Depends. I usually try to touch them because then they don't like me. Because
Okay.
they don't like that.
if you
But-
still drink milk, it would make sense for you to try to touch cats.
Yeah. Well, no, because if you don't touch them, then they think in cat language that means that you're into them. So if I don't touch them, they come over and they start rubbing their whole bodies on me.
Okay.
And then I freak out even more. So my aunt is always like, "Why do you keep trying to touch the cats?" And I'm like, "Because it's like basically it's like a force field. Like if you're into them, they will flee."
That sounds like dating in 2020.
If you
Yeah,
stand
right.
still and you're like, "No, don't come near me, don't come near me," they will come and crawl up into your eyes.
That sounds like my mom trying to, be friends with Thor. Because my mom, when she was actually moving in, she took a couple days. My mom moved out during that time, and my mom starts trying to be friendly with the cat, and my mom
First mistake.
had like this stern voice that the cat already didn't like. So, the cat starts trying to come over to him because he's still adjusting to the house.
Yeah.
And, he's able to be around me and Abby. He's coming towards my mom. My mom starts patting him. Everything's going great. And then all of a sudden, she just takes him by the stomach, does like this, and completely just freaks him out. And then you see him trying to get away, and then finally does. She's just over here like, oh, he loves me.
I do love cats that are big that always look so confused and offended when you pick them up and go like and they look so offended, like they're like, I'm the biggest cat I've ever seen, surely my girth could have prevented this.
That's the biggest cat I've ever actually held, so
I really love when he gives me headbutts.
that's all the time.
So he'll come in the morning. It'll just be me in the middle of the bed. My cat right at my head.
Yeah, saying I love you.
Yeah, right? So I'll be like, hey, what's up, buddy? Noggin.
Like he's fucking Finding Nemo.
It's
Give
how,
me some fin.
it's,
Noggin.
yeah, it's how cats get their weird face oils on you, so that way they're like, up.
I own you, bitch.
So
Hello?
you have Big Dick Comedy, and that was last week?
That was last Thursday. It was really good. I had about 20 people show up. It was a good crowd.
Nice.
It was fun.
There was a high five that happened, but I'm too far. Or am I?
It's fine.
There was a finger
High
touch.
tips. Tips.
I was gonna say, I think a fingernail stabbed me too.
Probably. There's one that's broken.
Oh,
So I have reverse scary prison
Is
person
that the
finger.
reverse lesbian nails. You're lesbian these two.
I love how you basically just tried to compare with your own a little bit. I felt like
Yeah.
you were just putting it up.
Yeah, mine are real bad. I need to go get a manicure, but I will never do that.
I just don't have the fucking time.
I was considering going right before this, actually.
Aw.
I never cared enough.
One day we'll
Gonna
get
say
home.
the only manicure that I'm actually worried about is Thor trying to give himself one because he started scratching stuff in the house.
We have a cat tree for him to scratch, but it's been sitting in the box for 2 weeks. So yeah.
I mean,
So your
take
furniture
It,
is
take it out of the box. That way he can get in that box. 'Cause
That's
true.
true.
I was gonna say, where's he hidden so far?
box spring.
Yeah, the box spring.
Box spring under the bed, under one of the dressers,
On top of the dresser.
on top of the dresser, behind the couch, in the recliner, under your bed.
in the recliner. He almost couldn't get out of the recliner. He got stuck.
Recliners are complicated, though.
A fat ass
He got
cat.
stuck in the recliner, and then he had oil all across his chest, and I was like, no! I was so upset.
My cousins used to have a pull-out bed, and their cat would always get stuck in it when it was in couch mode.
Honestly, I don't care. I don't care how upset you were about, him getting the oil from the couch on him. He was more upset when you had to give him a bath.
Yeah, he was.
He was way more upset than you.
Yeah, you guys could build a little ceiling thing for him, in my cat from my Jackson Galaxy has.
Oh, yeah, that's a goal.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Honestly, I just took a couple things just to block the recliner from him.
Yeah.
In case he tries that.
It is hot as anything in here.
Gino, why is it hot like Satan's ball sack in here?
It's your company.
That's
Keep-
probably true.
Yeah.
It's not hot yoga till I arrive.
Just hit the stretches.
We bring the fire.
Don't
You're over
break
here just
shit.
saying it with your chest.
No, I just,
Did it say, do you have a fan? Doesn't he look like Bill Nye the Science Guy?
he does. Look,
Right? A little bit, right?
Bill.
I was gonna say he looks like he did a little bit more heroin, but
He was actually my commencement speaker.
Bill Nye?
Are you
What
serious?
the fuck?
Yeah.
All I got was a crummy senator.
Same.
Yeah.
yeah.
I was
To
like,
be fair, everyone from like the first few years did not do great. Like it was like the first one that anyone was excited for in a long time.
Yeah, buddy. I'm more worried about the fan than this. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right.
I would have been more impressed if the governor had spoke, like, at this point. But no, it was like, we're honoring him with an honorary master's. I was like, what the fuck did he do?
He's the governor.
I like how it's an honorary master's, not even an honorary PhD.
Yeah.
It's just like we're acknowledging what's happening here.
Well, like,
Yeah, but like, what fucking money did he pay? It was all paid for by the politics.
like, all
Like,
right,
what the
we'll,
fuck?
all right, we'll
I
give
mean,
you
if he was
something.
your
It's
commencement
fine.
speaker, the school was probably paying him, or
Yeah.
the exchange was that he got the honorary masters, and then they didn't have to pay him as much.
Yeah, well, like, what the fuck? Still.
Thank
All right,
you.
I pay with my blood, sweat, tears, and wallet, okay?
I was gonna say we're talking about education, and I'm over here hotter than by 1 degree after a fan just came in.
Hi,
It's
sorry.
so far away.
Alex, what is your like? Sorry, we're
Okay.
like I'm like jumping all over the place.
Yes.
ADHD.
Woo!
But yes. But
That was a lot of
what is
echo.
what does your comedy process look like? And
My
we can-
comedy
we can
process?
compare and contrast. And
Yeah.
compare and contrast.
I literally just brought a big dick comedy, and that was it.
Yes.
My comedy process involves me being very unprepared for my going, shooting shit from my brain, and then trying to turn that into things one day.
Yeah. I'm glad we're being honest
Yeah.
about it. I feel like a lot of people try to glamorize it and be like, actually, I'm a genius.
Do you like have any like jokes that you like prepare? Or?
No, I do, but I start with riffing usually. But there are people who are like, I write for an hour and 15 minutes every morning when I wake up and have my tea.
Fucking hell.
And, or people who write their sets out verbatim. That always
Yeah.
Like I do that sometimes, but I don't. That's not what I do that's not my notes when I'm on stage.
Yeah.
Those people frighten me a little bit.
I'll switch my jokes up like in order, and my new ones all right like that. My old ones, I'll just have like a word or 2 that I remember it by, because I remember the joke now. So
Yeah, you do it enough
Yeah.
times.
yeah, like I just started making jokes about her cat that I still like right, you know, down in here. But I think after a while, I'll just put like Homer Simpson or something.
Sometimes I get confused though. Like I'll look at my notes that I have lined up, and it'll be something that's a little bit older, and I'll be like, "Why does this just say jizz?" Question mark.
Yeah, right.
What joke did this relate to?
Also, Nessa is like, her personality and her persona on stage are like the same person. Like,
It
there's
is.
not a difference.
There is somebody where they, granted, you know me, amazing at social cues, but it's just spectacular. No one's ever done better. But there was one comic who came. We were walking and talking afterwards, and I couldn't tell if she was being nice or trying to insult me.
Oh no.
I was like going a million miles an hour at her, and she said to me, "Oh, so you're like this off stage too."
Oh, I remember.
Like you just realize it, you know, after you know you're talking to her the entire time.
It was like the first time she had an experience with me that was not on, like she'd seen me on stage a bunch of times, but it was the first time we like actually talked that wasn't like a, "Oh, what are you drinking?" like kind of thing. It was me being like, and another thing about soccer is.
Nessa also has been starting to date recently and had probably a true fear of every comedian aside from male comedians.
Oh God.
So you're starting to rack up the hoodie collection. That's what we're doing.
I've gone on
It's hoodie season.
I've gone on one date with a very nice architect, but
How'd it go?
went pretty good. I liked it a lot. But
Alright.
I had two fears, and we're not going to get into the second fear, but the first fear immediately came true, which is someone messaged me, and their very first message was, "Hey, didn't I see you do stand-up last week?" And then they named the bar. And then I said, "Oh my God, like, yes, he totally." And I said something, and then what their response was, "It's okay, we all have off weeks."
There was oh
Which
god.
was clearly in reference to the comedy. Like, I didn't say like "Oh, I've been sick since then" or something. It was clearly like off week in relation to how they saw me perform.
You know, there's been a couple people that remember me from Walsh working on stage.
Excuse me?
No.
You haven't seen me do it because of Producers Club. You know, they have
can't-
like all the pictures like hanging up
you
and stuff. I
you
can't do it there.
That's not the club that looks like, someone just hung up a black curtain and put some laminate on the floor, is it?
No, we don't have enough money for a curtain.
No. But what I will
I
say,
would kill for a curtain.
that
Yeah,
could
it's a hole in the wall.
how we finally get rid of the naked lady that's been on the mirror for.
Put a fucking curtain there.
We can't bring up the naked lady. There can't be a record of the naked lady.
Allegedly.
There is
Allegedly.
naked
Yeah,
lady.
there is a mirror behind the stage.
Allegedly.
That does look like there's allegedly a mirror behind the stage.
Allegedly.
That does look like what cops look through.
Allegedly.
Yes.
So you can't even twerk on stage because you just feel like there's two people on the other side looking at you, being like,
That's definitely allegedly.
That ass.
That's definitely allegedly. We'll see about that.
I don't think that window goes anywhere, but still, I think it's just to make it seem like, don't worry, there's definitely not any violations behind that.
Honestly,
Yeah, so I definitely can't do it, allegedly.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if there were vampires living back there.
I don't want to have to explain what goth people are doing again. They're just eccentric people who dress up on Thursdays and play music and disturb comedy.
Or
They're
are they
eccentric,
vampires?
emotional, and sit in quarters, okay? Leave them alone.
I don't think you've been there for the vampire people.
I've been there several times.
You have.
That was what I wanted to be when I was 13.
A vampire?
Yes, I wanted to be the physical embodiment of Trip Pants.
High school voting, most likely to be a nut vampire. That's a hunt.
I had quite a few pairs of Trip pants.
I actually, in high school in yearbook they were gonna do like I did like one set of stand up at like doing the school announcements.
Okay.
And I wasn't getting on my high horse, but I was starting to be like, oh, maybe I don't hate myself. And so they were gonna do for the yearbook, they were gonna do like like most popular or like least likely to succeed or something. And the girl who was setting it up and like had decided what everyone's category was going to be, out of we were a class of 75 people, she was passing it around and like letting everyone see what their thing was that had gotten voted for them, and I got weirdest. And so the next time I did the announcements, I was like kind of like, definitely doesn't bother me, but also like,
What the fuck, people?
Yeah, but like, also like, what the fuck? No one else's category, like everyone else's category was fine except for me. Like I checked every single category. Every single category was fine except for Nessa, and then so I made a big deal about it, and her entire section of the yearbook got shut down.
Oh my god.
She was so pissed at me, but I was also like, you know what? I'm not going to be remembered as weirdest now. So.
And that's Nessa's comedian origin story.
That's how it started.
We all need an origin story. It's the most important part.
I just remember, I don't know how I did this, and this isn't even like an origin story, but there was this one kid that I was friends with. I was making fun of him for an hour, and he had a bad habit of just apologizing a lot, and I called him out on it. Mm-hmm. And
He
it
was
got
Canadian.
to a point, pretty sure he was actually Indian, but okay. But no, yeah, he had a bad habit of apologizing, and I ended up calling him out for it, and eventually I just got so sick of it, I started making fun of him. I kept telling him to apologize for everything. Like somebody would put their phone down, I'd be like, apologize! And I would just start fucking with him. This literally went out of every action everybody did for over an hour.
Oh.
And I would tell him to apologize for me telling him to apologize. Like, I literally just kept going for an hour, and we were all cracking up at the table. I don't know why.
John,
I don't know why, but I just brought up riffing.
I don't want to say this because I'm doing improv, and improv is a cult. But have you ever considered doing improv? 'Cause that's some improv stuff right there. Just a little bit.
I could try it.
The look of pain on his face when she asked that
To
question.
be fair,
I could
okay,
try
to be
it.
fair, I hated improv a lot. Please don't come for me.
She really did.
I really hated improv. I actually had a beef with the improv club at my college, like an actual beef. Like I was gonna fight one of the girls if like it happened one more time, because the improv team used to practice in our common room, and I would be like, "This is a common space. You can go, you can go use the theater. Like you do not have to be here. Other people need to make spaghetti. Nessa needs to make spaghetti."
And they were like, yes, and?
Yeah, and it was terrible. But and I hated all of them so much. But then I did so many people were like, you are such an improv person. Do you do improv? And I was like, I just committed actually 2 months ago. And
I just committed.
yeah, I just graduated, actually. I just finished my first round of improv and signed up for the second round.
She's at UCB, baby.
UCB.
All I know is they made us do improv the first time I went to their mic. It was like 30 seconds to a minute. And then somebody gave me the topic. I think it was This Life, too.
Probably,
Yeah,
yes.
probably.
Yeah. I think he gave me the topic of, like, black girls. I was like, he would give me something I don't know shit about.
Yeah. To be fair, you can switch it around. You can as you can say, you can A to C off the monologue.
Isn't life just a giant improv?
That sounds like
So
something
philosophical.
not my teacher, but maybe somebody like the guy at the front desk would say.
The guy
Yeah,
who's
right.
been at UCB too long.
Who's had just one too many Starbucks cups.
One too many
you gotta,
yes ands.
You gotta pay for the classes somehow, but
Yeah, right.
That's true.
although I'm looking forward to if/when you take improv.
Yeah, no, it's happening. I've said it's happening. Just waiting for the moment to be right to sell my soul, you know?
That probably means it's not going to happen.
That's what I said, and then I went for it, you know.
You're going to be like 47 when it finally happens.
Oh, God. Then I'm going to be that person.
Yeah, you're gonna be like the lady from Egypt.
There may or may not be a
I
murderer
can't-
in Nessa's Improv 101 class.
She did not murder him. He died while they were hiking. But
Oh my god.
Same thing.
yeah, she was with a group of people. I'm sure it was fine. But
So
Somebody just got pushed by accident.
I used to go to this
Allegedly.
improv. It was a social anxiety improv group.
fuck yeah.
So it was for people with social anxiety.
Question: are you telling the story about the kid you went on a pity date with?
No, I was just gonna say what was about the class, but okay.
No, don't tell me about this date. Tell me about this class.
No, but it was
Talk about the date
a whole
after.
bunch of us, and the therapist was an actual improv actor for many years. He worked with like Robin Williams. He worked with everybody.
Yeah.
And the whole group, like, every time it would always end up as like dead babies, orphans on fire, and some sort of limb getting cut off.
That's actually
Every single story.
He's not so good at his job because one of the rules of improv is that you shouldn't kill or maul your scene partner. 'Cause you never want to be alone on stage.
I don't want to go through this alone.
It gets weird. Imagine doing improv yes-anding no one. You're just standing by yourself. That's nothing. That's
That's
just
why I hate doing this show by myself. And it's happened before. It's not fun.
you got to get someone to call in.
No, I do. People call in sometimes.
Yeah.
I get that like once in a while call that somebody will like give to me, and it'll usually be like a random comedian. I'll be like, oh hi. I remember John Mowry called it on this one time.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's nice.
That was fun. I was gonna say I couldn't hear shit he was saying. And then he just listened to me and like 5 other comedians just ramble on for like 20 minutes. And he's like, all right, I gotta go. I'm like, you're still here?
Should we just turn this into A to C'ing off of anxiety, therapist, etc.? Should we just make this therapy hour and like we all
my
talk
God.
about our therapists?
I feel like that's what it feels
I
like.
fucking love my therapist. About 2 months in, she called me psychotic and said, let's fix you.
That's a good.
I will try to fix you.
What kind of jewelry does she wear?
None.
Oh.
She's like one of those all organic.
First I thought you were gonna say like a chunky bracelet.
I know the story I want to tell.
Yeah.
Which one?
Take a guess. First time we hung out? It's from the first time we hung out. And then something your therapist said.
Was it
Now
about-
we need to know.
No!
Okay,
That is an off-air story?
yeah, we'll hear about that one later.
Okay.
That is an off-air story
We talked
because you're
about
a fucking asshole.
We talked about my sleep shitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we
But
don't.
also, if you had
We don't
said-
talk about my incompetence, okay?
That's
Also,
not
if
incompetence.
we-
That's
if-
inexperience.
If you had said I don't want to talk about the sleep shitting, we would have respected that. Maybe. But
Yeah, can you really
Also-
respect that?
yeah. Also, you probably shouldn't because I also don't have a therapist right now, let alone a good therapist. I'm dating right now. I can either put energy into dating or finding a therapist, and for right now, we're gonna stick with dating.
Which is definitely the
Okay.
healthy thing to do.
Yes, that's what
Alright.
it says in the handbook. I've got the handbook right here, and it says
It's not the pizza handbook. It's not the same.
date
handbook.
first always.
I love my
That's
therapist.
exactly what it says.
Yes.
I want to read this for myself.
She, I went on this really bad date once.
It says outline. Thank you
Yeah.
very
and
much.
It is empty.
I was like, the next time the only time I'd ever see this man again is if I was cut up into tiny pieces in his freezer.
Is this the dude from Yale?
Yes.
I remember that joke.
The worst date that I've ever been on my entire life. And her response was, that frees up my 9 a.m. And I was like, ooh, someone has a side career in stand-up comedy.
That's great.
Roasted.
Is it bad that I at first thought that was Akshay?
Could you imagine?
And then Akshay tried to hit on her during the show.
He does that sometimes.
I don't think about that.
Yeah.
I just think it's hilarious.
Nessa suppresses it.
Great for one, great at social cues. 2, great at being a heterosexual person. The 2 things that Nessa Hunt is most known for.
Oh, okay.
Those 2 things, which is why I always know what's going on.
Yeah.
100%.
Which he's actually great at is sarcasm, because none of that is true.
Yes.
Just so everybody knows.
I do wish I had more of an NPR voice so I could tell that. So I could just be like, so tell me about big dick comedy.
She has the voice of like, oh, that was a shameless plug, John.
Well, now I'm plugging for you, so it's fine. It's not shameless if someone else does
Well, now we have to know what all of our voices are. Radio man.
Radio man
From the
voices.
professional.
You
I
just
feel
have the
like
Valley Girl voice.
Okay, Alex, I'm going to outline this right now.
Yes.
1,
Like, oh my god, somebody get me some fucking Starbucks.
podcaster in the top 10 women, probably true crime, just statistically speaking, but could also be like a podcast about like cereal. You know what I'm talking about? Like not cereal, but like Lucky Charms.
Yes.
Because that's what all Valley Girl voices
Like-
are.
Great.
You'd
The
be like,
podcast about where you found the finger in the Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
That
Oh
one.
my God.
My Favorite Murder. It took me
That's
like
true.
6 months before I could tell their voices apart. The
Oh, wow.
people would be like, oh my god, they're from 2 distinct parts of California. Like, they sound completely
Yeah.
different. And I'd just be like, I cannot tell. It's just 100% vocal fry.
I will say I used to do what I called annoying white girl voice in some of my bits, and I was like, oh, I gotta stop doing that because that's just my voice.
And then the second one is ASMR.
I have an ASMR voice.
You could have an ASMR voice.
Is that a compliment?
Yeah.
To be
Yeah.
fair, you don't have an ASMR voice because if you did have an ASMR voice, these headphones would be off.
Oh my god, one sounds like Northridge and the other one sounds like she's from LA.
Literally, I was like
What?
So I was doing ASMR.
Rachel started doing ASMR at that roast we were at, and
Oh, no.
I was like, Rachel, I like literally stood up and I was like, Rachel, please do not do this. ASMR is the one thing I will not abide by, and Rachel kept doing it for like a solid 5 minutes,
Oh no.
and I was just like buried in Chris's shoulder because I hate ASMR.
What would
Oh.
you rather be stuck in shitty improv show for 10 hours or be
no.
subjected to 3 hours of ASMR involving touching?
Am I allowed to get up to go to the bathroom, or do I have to pee in a glass?
Pee in a glass for both.
Okay, still improv.
I feel like
Okay,
10
you
hours.
say that, but you've never been to an open mic at what is it, the Stress Factory in New Brunswick?
What is this?
I went to
it's a
one-
comedy club in New
I've
Brunswick.
seen videos from the Stress
Oh my
Factory.
god. So literally within the first 10 minutes of us being there, kid comes up and goes, "Look, I've got candy." Yeah, they have candy. They actually have like those little 25% candy machines
Yeah.
by the bathrooms. And my response was, "Hey, I don't take candy from strangers. Now walk along." You know,
As you should.
as you should. He's like, "Well, I just wanted to show you my candy," and I was like, "Just go."
How did a child get in there?
No.
Someone at
was
this table passed safety school. Not that I'm projecting, and I didn't pass safety school in kindergarten. No.
Excuse me, I am the alpha of our group.
I don't know. Is safety school like stranger danger, kind of?
It is,
Yeah.
and I may or may not have passed in Ohio in kindergarten.
They didn't make us take a test in New York. They just showed us a video that that was so bad at explaining what it was going on that I didn't understand the concept.
They literally, they would come in for like 2 hours every like 2 months and teach you what stranger danger was.
I didn't realize.
They did it like once for 1 hour.
They did
and
with
we were
dogs,
done.
too.
We did more about like smoke inhalation than we did about like pedophiles.
Oh, no, I didn't.
I didn't realize it was a kid that said that to you because I thought it was like a full-grown man. And I
Oh,
was
no,
just like,
it was a full-grown man, but
Oh.
I just,
Oh, yeah.
I know it's still,
So
everybody's a kid to me.
I was thinking in my head, I'll break you like a Kit Kat.
So
when I
you
found this out.
successfully avoided being poisoned
Drugged.
and or drugged.
Yep.
Okay.
Good. Stranger danger.
All these curves getting into a van ain't gonna happen.
I'll kill him.
Unless he gave you a sealed bag of M&Ms. No, you can't
I'll
just,
still
you can't
kill
just,
him.
You can't just come up to people with loose hands of candy like it's trail mix, just like
Take some.
pellets.
Listen,
Eat the
listen.
pellets like a goat.
All right? I almost used the Force on somebody one night after Governors, okay? You remember this.
One day it'll work, John. One day.
No, literally, because there was a guy that actually, like, smacked her ass. Like some drunk dude. I started walking up to
Love
him.
it.
I started walking up to him slowly, right? I put out my hand all slow like I'm Darth Vader. And then I actually get my hand around his neck. And then there's a human part in me that's actually thinking, she probably wouldn't like it if I choked this man to death right now.
And that's how
Yeah.
John Brecco's arrest warrant
Yes.
was put out.
I still got back in Long Island. It's okay. They haven't caught me yet.
That's what's important.
Granted, it is Long Island, so.
Yeah. They haven't caught me in Levittown, New York, around 90 Division Avenue.
All right. I was about to say, I thought that also happened in New Brunswick for a second, so I was about to be like,
Nah, that wasn't New Brunswick.
okay, because I was about to be like,
Yet.
After improv, I'm gonna use the next round to not take improv, but to take like a keto or something. So I was about to be like, before I go to New Brunswick, we're gonna finish a keto round one.
Didn't you just get pepper spray?
No, I've had pepper spray for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
I
thought
feel
you...
like I should have pepper spray like every
Mine glows in the dark.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
So
fun.
you can like UV that motherfucker.
gonna say,
Do you have pepper spray?
I don't because I would pepper spray myself.
Yeah.
I
feel
already.
like I would.
you could blind somebody and use them as a strobe light at the same time.
It's true.
My mom used to send me to college with a taser.
Stop.
Too.
Good
But it looked
mom.
like a cell phone, so I would just like,
That's beautiful.
because I had like 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock p.m. classes, so I wouldn't get
Yeah.
out till late. And then I still had to drive home, but I had to go all the way out in the parking lot. And I don't know if you've
Yeah,
ever
lot
been
of,
to
lot of
a,
terrible shit happens in a college parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it's like no lights, nothing. Like this is Ocean County. You're in the fucking woods. There's nothing around.
It-
So I would be like, okay, I'm carrying a taser now. I'm gonna tase a tree. Like let's go. You know. So
It's
I
like
would.
you hit somebody with the phone. New text message.
Preparation.
Yeah.
Punch, Becky.
See, I have too many people who come up to me and try and tell me about Jesus all the time, so I'd end up
Oh.
just like tasering street pastors.
That happened to me one time when I was with you.
It happens to Alex. It happens to Alex all the time.
Frequently.
Like,
Where are you from?
I'm from 5 hours upstate. I don't know what it is, but something about me. They love it. Like I got a LinkedIn request from a pastor.
I thought you were talking about where you were from for a second. Like you don't remember where you were from?
No, like she might just have one of those good girl vibes.
I call it instead of resting like bitch face, it's like resting open to Jesus face.
Or she needs Jesus face. I did get some targeted Instagram ads for Chuck E. Cheese, so I feel like there is a correlation there.
I just want to let you know if you have a resting open to Jesus face, you probably need Jesus.
Well, that's the thing. Is also
There's
they're
a
always
pattern,
They're always
okay?
trying to sell you on like some weird. I got one of them the other day, but it's always like some weird. It's always like the culty ones.
Yeah.
I got the have you heard Our Mother God one? The Mother God ones. That one like is like a sex trafficking cult or something.
Oh my god.
That makes sense.
We already know he's a hermaphrodite. Just leave it the fuck alone.
All I gotta say is like, why don't you just let people do what they gotta do? I mean,
Yeah.
because what I find is certain religions like block out part of there's certain denominations of Christianity block out whatever parts they don't want to use.
Yeah.
I hate this notebook so much. By the way. I peeked in there and there's a recipe for stew and a bunch of notes about what weapon I want to take in my new dungeon. Oh, don't read that one.
Why?
Yeah, that one was that one was my like outline plan because I was sad that College Humor was dying.
All I read was plan to get around Facebook.
I thought it was
Yeah.
going to be like
I was-
fan fiction or something.
No, I wish.
I'm ready for the smut.
I thought she was gonna restart Captain Underpants.
They're actually in the first.
That seems on brand.
In the very first comedy notebook, there is some not erotic, but there's definitely some short story writing that took some turns.
Gonna say that took a sexual turn here and there.
I'm not gonna say no to sexual, just not erotic.
Oh, it wasn't
What's
erotic?
the distinction?
I thought you said it
between
was.
sexual
It
and
was-
It
erotic?
was romantic.
Okay, so I think
That
like
still can be both of those.
so there's like fluff and then there's smut.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say fluffy.
Yeah, smut
Oh,
is
fluffy.
like
So, like,
okay, and he
Gabriel
puts the
Iglesias.
penis in the vagina, da, da, da. But they say it like
Never heard those words.
more like chocolate starfish equals butthole. Like that's what it is. 50 Shades of Grey. We'll just say that.
I'm gonna repress those words you just said.
And then fluff is more of like, oh, he cuddles her all night until she falls asleep and kisses her gently on the
It was
forehead.
not even that. It was like they were in different rooms, just like thinking about each other. Just being like, that other person sure is great, huh? Anyway,
I just wanted to reach my hand out as I stared through the window.
anyway,
no.
back to my job. And then he went to work.
You just made this so sad.
Yeah, I did. That's also what you know how my dad is here, secretly in this room, but he had a great
under the
Just
table.
hiding right there.
Yeah.
he had a great idea for the dating story. He was like, you should have you should have a Netflix or like an HBO special. Which
Yeah.
parents are great because they're so encouraging. They're
Yeah.
like they always tell you you can do something amazing.
At
They're
least
like,
you're seeing
yeah.
encouraging.
Yeah. But he was like, you know what you should name it? You should name it Nessa Hunt Unhinged.
Oh my
'Cause
God.
It's on Hinge is where I got those messages.
I love it. I also gave Nessa her first date location.
Oh, you did, yes.
Oh.
Because I
True friendship.
She asked me to where we should go for a date, and I just panicked and said the first comedy bar I could think of. Because I only go to
I
comedy
went to
bars.
Uno's, okay?
Yeah, all right. Yeah, but I just panicked, and I just said the first comedy bar I could think of, and I was like, if this date goes badly, I do not want to, like, not ever go back to another comedy bar.
Also, it's like almost the same level as bringing someone that you're
Yeah.
interested in
What
to
if-
an open mic,
What
but
if they want to go see
Yeah.
a show? That's, no.
No, you have to bring them somewhere that you could stand to not be at anymore.
Yeah.
Again.
Which is why we went to that beautiful wine bar.
yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I went on a first date there with a boy who would later ghost me after a couple months of dating.
Aw.
Wait, is it this guy?
Which
The one you're with now?
not
Or you were?
anymore.
Oh, he ghosted
He
you?
fully ghosted me.
I didn't know if it was him or not.
Yeah. No, we were supposed to go see the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree together and get a Christmas tree for his apartment, and then he disappeared into the
the
steamy
mist.
abyss.
Into the wind.
Off the face of the earth?
Yeah, but I should have known that there was something wrong with him because the first time I went to this man's apartment, he had no toilet paper, and his excuse, and I was like, "Where do you like to shit?"
At le-
And his response was that he enjoys pooping at work.
Terrible.
what?
It's like
Yeah.
The first time you went to his apartment, that's what he tells you.
Yes,
Yeah.
what a sociopath.
I feel like that's like the phrase you're supposed to say to activate like a secret agent.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Where it's like phrases no one would ever say. Alpha, Bravo,
Right.
69er. I enjoy pooping at work.
It's like
Full force.
Full force. And then
You
suddenly
just,
someone
you just
wakes
sound like Siri.
that's what her voice actually is. Not NPR voice, it's Siri voice.
Oh,
No.
terrible. But also
In-
I accept it.
No,
In
I was
10
like,
more
yeah.
steps, take a left so you can poop at work.
Truly, no, this man, he had no toilet paper, but I think in retrospect he may have had some dead bodies under his floorboard.
Yeah, those are hard.
You,
to, those
you
are
might
hard
just
to
be
keep
better
in
off
there.
without him.
Yeah.
Does he know where you live?
Yes.
Okay, now
You've
Lock
got
your
some-
doors at night
you've-
and
yes.
your windows.
You've got great security. So.
okay, before
do.
you started dating me, now I'm trying to figure out who has a worse taste in men.
Love it.
I dated a guy who failed his written driver's test
No.
9 times.
Oh, 9 times.
Yeah, he was like 23. I was 21.
I'm
Yeah.
dumb as shit. I'm dumb as shit, and I passed it, and I didn't even study.
Was this Dweck?
Okay, we don't say
What was
names
his
on
name?
air.
No, we can't say the name again. Also, it did sound like nonsense.
That sounded like a demon's name. Like I
Like
summon you.
he didn't even know
It was-
cursive.
it was-
Like I was like,
To be fair, I also don't know cursive.
what?
They didn't teach it at our school. They
What?
His name is Dick Dweck.
They canceled
Oh
the,
my
the
God.
cursive program. We started learning it. We got about like 2 or 3 months in. Then they canceled it. I was supposed to do like 2 years total, but I got about 3 months.
Oh my god.
So I can do it, but it looks bad.
At least you have like the basic knowledge.
She has
Yeah.
the ability.
Squiggly lines.
She also
Yeah.
passed her written driver's test.
Sometimes I have to
Oh
Google
my
how to make the
fine
Z.
squiggly line.
I have to Google how you make the Z sometimes, though.
Now I want to
Buzz.
know what your first date was like together.
Mine with hers.
I thought
Yeah.
you said it was at Uno's.
Lots of making out, a creepy waiter, and a brother fucker movie.
Ah,
Yeah, that's pretty much what
we
it
all
was.
know we all know that category.
And I thought it was gonna be a chick flick, so I was actually pretty happy with the movie.
Was it a simple favor?
Yeah.
It was.
Oh, I got sad
I
when I,
don't
saw
like how
that
she
movie.
guessed that so
Yeah.
fast.
I thought that movie was going to be about lesbians, and then it wasn't.
Yeah,
It was
I'm
very
sorry.
disappointing.
I
was
thought-
like,
I
finally
thought-
a movie for us.
I thought during the movie it might be.
Yeah, they have like I've seen the trailers. They have like a lot of eye contact.
Yeah.
Listen, I would have been fine with that too. Just saying.
Would have been better than.
I just
a
wanted to
family
see because
member.
I wanted the suspense. I was like, oh my god.
Would have been better than somebody just hanging up the phone being like, brother fucker.
I do love that meme on TikTok though, where where the kids recreate the. I say kids, I mean people of age, but
Us.
people younger than me who recreate that specific porn category where they're like, "Hey stepbrother, I'm stuck in this washing machine.
Oh no.
Come in and help me out." And then to subvert the trope, they'll just be like, "Sure thing, let me help you out of that washing machine."
Oh no, I'm stuck. Can you help me, please?
And then the person is like, "Yeah, exactly." And then they both turn to the camera and they're like, "What the fuck did you think was gonna happen, pervert?"
Just grab him. Sure, of course I'll help you.
No, because that's what happens in the movies.
Okay.
And then we're going against that for comedic purposes. Yes.
Circling back to
Oh.
comedy.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Um,
We're almost out of time, aren't we?
Yeah. I think so.
Technically, I
Yeah.
guess I wasn't even gonna check. To be honest
I
with you.
am on top of things.
She
No,
is.
my own life is just a big pile of garbage.
I usually
yeah.
let him tell me when like I'm gonna wrap it up,
All
unless
right.
unless there's another show coming up. So
Okay. Do we want to do like a final thing where we each say like something that takes like a minute or
so Abby, what's your comedy process?
My comedy process. So, I'm mostly like a one-liner kind of person.
That's a
like
fun kind.
That is.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like
what's your favorite one-liner?
I don't know.
Put her on the spot, Nessa.
No pressure. I'm looking over here.
Can you tell me a joke, guys?
If our eyes are closed.
Hey, can you tell me a joke?
No, I'm kidding.
No, like the other day I was talking about how I've decided to take like a weight loss journey and whatnot, and I was talking to a guy and I told him I worked at a gym, and his first reaction was like, "What the fuck?"
Ugh.
So I told him I was a personal trainer, and then that was it. Like,
She's a graphic designer.
yeah, I am a graphic designer by trade.
Oh, that's very fun.
Yeah.
We should exchange Instagram.
You have a better
after
job
this.
than I do. I work at Amazon. It's so sad.
Nessa has an Amazon story.
Okay.
live in the Amazon.
I would like to hear this.
Amazon
When you
story.
were an extra and what the
Yeah. Ugh.
craft
Where did you
services.
work?
I was working as an extra, which basically meant that I had zero money, and occasionally I would spend like $200 getting ready for a $100 paycheck that
Oh, Jesus
that
Christ.
the extra the company that does extra stuff gives you. And so I was working on this Amazon production, and usually movie TV sets have really good food. Like pretty.
yeah.
Worst case scenario, you get like a catered lunch and stuff. But I went to go to this Amazon shoot out in Coney Island, and I get there, and the breakfast for non-union people is just a big bucket of eggs.
Amazon does not have good food.
The word that she used initially was trough.
Yeah, trough. It was just a trough of eggs.
Their food is barely edible.
Yeah, no, they didn't have all the actors were like, even the union food wasn't that good, which like
No.
The union people are supposed to have some decent shit.
I look at them compared to UPS. I'm like, oh shit, Amazon has food. Mind you, it's not even edible.
Knock on wood.
The ones in the vending machine are.
I was gonna say UPS barely had vending machines.
Oh no.
Yeah. It sucks when they make you pay for shit at work. Like, just give me something.
Yeah, like, come on.
Yeah.
They have to give you free water. That's
I'm
about
moving
it.
cages and boxes around, sweating my ass off. I deserve something.
They give me free seltzer at my job, which is like
Okay.
a perk. Comes in a can. I could sell that can for money.
My office has snacks, and it was like the greatest moment of all time when I walked in for the first time. I was like, but the problem is I sit and stare at them all day.
And I'm crying on the inside.
So I'm just like, it takes so much willpower, not for
Okay,
every 5 minutes
John?
to be up and down.
Start uncrying because it is a fashion industry snack. So it's like it's air that once saw chocolate. It's like a grain of puffed rice that once sat near some caramel.
One time I was like, I'm going to
Hint of,
treat
hint of.
myself. And this was at my old job. And I was like, oh, but I'm not allowed to have carbs because I work in the fashion industry. So I found these like fucking like chocolate covered rice cakes. And I was like, maybe. And I was like, wow, this tastes like living in a flex 3-bedroom apartment with 10 people.
I found these chocolate covered rice cakes and I'm like, ew, too many carbs.
Is butter a carb?
One time they had a birthday at her office and they split her cupcake 6 ways.
Oh,
What
the
the
birthday.
fuck?
One cupcake 6 ways.
I would have killed somebody.
It
for
should be
watching
illegal.
that.
Yeah, that's
Every
what the
single
fashion
birthday.
industry is. Which also, you do save a lot of money on cupcakes that
Well,
way.
it's so funny too because when there are leftovers too, it'll go in the kitchen and it'll disappear so fast when no one's watching.
No one will see this and look at me differently.
Yeah.
I'm so ashamed.
I wasn't kidding. There is just a recipe for stew in here.
Oh my god, 3 onions.
Yeah. They get caramelized. They boil down.
Yeah, we got unsalted butter, garlic. Does that say curry powder? I realized I just fucked up saying garlic.
But is this
awfully.
a secret stew recipe, Nessa?
No, it's fine. It's Googleable.
We crossed out ketchup and red wine, which was probably a good idea.
No. It's because I had them at home. This was what stuff I was getting at the grocery store, and I was like, I've got ketchup and red wine at home.
Okay, because I just saw ketchup and red wine. I'm like, this is all supposed to be part of a stew?
Yeah, they all went together. It was really good. I actually had some before I
Oh,
left.
so you put ketchup and red wine in a stew?
Well, you were supposed to use tomato paste, but they said you could use ketchup as a replacement, so I did.
Also, as an Irish American, I think Nessa is obligated by her birthright to put alcohol in anything she cooks.
Oh, well, no, that's fair, but I just saw ketchup and then red wine after that.
Yeah, they could have been placed better.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's wrap it up.
All right, these guys want to go the fuck home.
Respect.
All right.
All right. Let's just say our goodbyes to everybody.
Yeah.
All right, do you guys have anything coming up for you guys? Other than the mics?
I've got a Broadway show next week on the 22nd, but I don't think anyone's gonna come to that because it's a Broadway show. But what do I have after that? I'm booked for something after that. Just check out my website, www.nessahunt.com.
I don't have shit.
Yeah, Nessa is spelled NEASSAHUNT.
Nessa.
My life is hard.
Yeah, I have a show coming up in New Orleans, so everyone definitely should come. It's going to be a fun time.
Everybody fly out to New Orleans.
Fly for me.
Do it for me.
I have no website, but you can follow me on Instagram as long as you promise not to send me questionable things over Instagram Messenger. It is at ASTAGS, ASTAGSSS.
I don't appreciate how she looked at me when she said questionable things.
Hey, girl. Oh, what's he send it?
What?
No.
Oh, so you think I would. You're awful.
All kinds of cat pics.
That counts
I
as
love
horrible.
pussy pics.
You turned that on me. Me, a lesbian.
Yeah, and you can catch us at the Producers Club every Wednesday.
You can. Anything? Do you have anything to
Hosting.
plug? You too?
I don't.
You have a show
I
coming up.
have BTE comedy at Governor's in the Little Room on February 27th.
Woo!
And I will be producing that, and I have a bunch of shows coming up in February. The first one coming up is at Dangerfield's Bob DeBono's show on the 13th.
Woo.
We're going to have some fun, and these guys want to get the fuck out of here. Massachusetts.
Ah.
Awesome.
Num
All right.
nums.
Have a good one.
Yeah, this was the round table.
LOL.
Massachusetts. That's how we go out.
Massachusetts.
I was going to say, you just changed that to Ness.
I love the land I'm in, but everyone's opinionated, insinuating the word and sin, only then you hate it. I'm always getting so high so you can gaze up. I'm going Super Saiyan, hence the reason that I blaze up. It's future mayhem in invasion of the game, no more mumbling. I'm actually saying something, you lame ass suckers. The beat is infinite where I'm from, and the timeline has only begun. You stunned?